So now Michael Waddell takes a look at this, right? And Michael Waddell's like, oh, get out. That's neat. Hey, maybe I'll message that guy, see what's going to hunt, right? That's what I'm saying. Like those instances, those moments like that are like, look at Jelly Roll. Look at Jelly Roll. I guess that's how I can put it. Look at Jelly Roll. Got out of prison. Guy says, I don't need no help. I'm going to sing a song. And he sang a song. Now, let me tell you, he made the world know that it didn't matter. And look at him now.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like this conversation is a rabbit hole that we could go on for months about because there's so many different avenues here.
Well, two things. One, that was my point of bringing it up. Like, you could be a game warden, that's outdoors, wildlife conservationist, you could be property management, you could be a lot of things as far as making money in the outdoors. But I just was saying about
like strictly hunting.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, before we go any further, remember when I started the stream earlier?
Yeah.
Right? StreamYard ended it.
Oh, nice. So it just started again?
I had to just restart it, and apparently we were sitting here talking for like 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, I see that too.
Yeah, without it going. I looked up here, and I'm like, why isn't it showing any viewers?
Nice.
Well, as soon as I got on tonight with my cell phone, it was just like, yeah, okay, and it started up that weird mic thing again, and this time it was on my end, so I just quit it right away and grabbed the laptop.
Oh, it's not you, Brad. It's something in the program.
I think you're right.
I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that we had this started at 9:00. It just, I honest to God, that is between. It's still not connected to Facebook. It still won't connect to Facebook, no matter what I've tried. And it just had me restart the whole stream, and we lost.
Well, because we restarted the whole stream, we want to point out that next week's guest is Matt Brophy. Yes. So you guys definitely be prepared to have Matt Brophy. We had Matt Brophy on, Chris, about a year ago?
Yeah.
He's got some big events and some great growth coming with his trapping, so we're definitely going to have him on. Yeah. The current topic right now is, can you make money in hunting?
Which I think
we're agreeing yes. I think everybody's agreeing yes. I think we're all just agreeing in different ways. And
I think this isn't the 1940s anymore, or the 50s and stuff like that. So hunting for money is, as far as ducks, like, the duck hunters down there, the fur market, or the buffalo hide, we're going back even further with that. But, we can't sell, literally, I don't know about you guys in Pennsylvania, but like when you get your meat packaged by anybody, right? It literally says not for sale.
Yeah, same here.
On the packages. Because it's not USDA stamped. Whether I agree with the USDA or not, that's a whole topic.
That's the rule.
That's the rules, right? But I don't necessarily agree. I do think there's those certain people out there that that one thing hits them. You know what I mean? Like you were talking about, Ben, where that one thing hits them and boom, they're at rock stardom status. The next thing you know, they're hunting with Waddell. They're hunting with this one. They're hunting with that one. I keep going back to Steve Rinella because I feel like he has the most class out of any of the TV hunters, as we'll call it. There's a lot of class to him, I believe. And so my thing is, Steve was running a fly fishing guide, living in Montana, and also his brother ran a fishing charter out of Alaska. They were never really looking for any, public eye. And he was a journalist. I want to just kind of touch on that. He was a journalist and writing articles and books about hunting and selling them to the New York Times and things like that.
Well, and he also is doing, again, part of the other jobs that we were talking about. Like he has, don't quote me on the name, the Back 40.
Yes.
Where they talk about the property management, but then of course they give away that 40-acre property.
That's all new stuff though. I'm going back from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Like I've seen his early podcasts and I've seen like he's now selling. I bought his 2 cookbooks.
Yeah. They're good.
I like to cook.
Their seasonings are good too.
I didn't get any of them yet.
You should. So, I think people start in different places with everything. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I don't necessarily always think there's that one light bulb moment. Steve was just writing a lot of articles, and then he ended up, you know, his articles got through to a couple hunting magazines. Those magazines got to Giannis Bertelis. Giannis Bertelis he's the sole producer for Alaska: The Last Frontier, and then they started Meat Eater together.
Mhm.
Steve also had his own little sportsman's channel thing going on at the same time, and then Giannis picked him up from that. And I don't know if that was necessarily a monumental moment, but it started what Meat Eater is, and Giannis and all the boys have just kind of, really ran with that.
But really,
So
Brandon, not to interrupt you, but back to your story, went from that one moment. It took that one article, that one thing that grabbed somebody's attention.
yeah, but I mean, Steve was making money long before then with just writing articles.
Agreed, but his big premiere
Well,
came off that one.
I guess you'd say the limelight of, we're talking about making money, not necessarily publicly becoming a TV hunter, right? So, yes, that one moment put him in front of way more viewers on TV. But I don't know if Steve's making any more money now than he was before.
Plus, if you don't have anything to back up the viral thing, in other words, if your back catalog is not as good as your viral,
Yeah.
because like you said, it may just take that one person to see it and share it, and then makes that video go viral. And what you're hoping is that enough people like that one, then they watch your other stuff and they like that as well.
Absolutely. And now let's continue.
Yeah. So it can't be just that one video. That one video has to bring the people to stay with.
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree, Chris. I just want you to know mine is to get them there, to get them intrigued and get them started. That one video is what draws them in, and then you got to continue to do your job. If you can't continue to do what you're doing, then that's a failed process.
Well, there's a difference between making money and being famous.
Yeah,
I agree. But when it comes to hunting, on the end of the day, when it comes to hunting, most of these guys making their money are famous.
I mean,
unless you're an outfitter. Or unless you're a game
there's a lot of outfitters out there that are making plenty of money. You know what I mean?
You know what's weird? I don't like being famous.
Yeah.
Like I walked into some places and like, hey, are you Chris Brown? And I'm like, yes, I am. Oh, I know you because it was from the game stuff. I'm like, that kind of just, I don't know, it weirds me out. I know you had a lot of that kind of interaction.
Dude, I love it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Listen, when I go somewhere and these young kids, like these 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids are like, yo, are you big sexy? I seen you, dude. You're awesome. Oh my God, I thrill off that. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's not an amount of money in the world you can pay me to make me feel what I feel right there. It's not about the money. That to me, there's no money that can compete with that feeling. That somebody thinks you're cool. That one of these young kids are watching your stuff and thinks what us are doing is neat. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's a better feeling than that. I don't think at that point, if we talk about hunting and money, you can throw the money away. I don't care. I work a full-time job. You know what I mean? The money's great. I want it. And I'd love one day to not have to work the full-time job I have, maybe a part-time job to continue to hunt more. But the reality of it is that's the best part for me.
Now, two things. One, I am kind of bummed we did not get the calendar made while I was up there. So there is that. We were supposed to do the Sasquatch calendar.
Dude, we had no time for anything.
Listen, we have a place to sell that. I'm telling you, Bigfoot Fries will sell that. I'm telling you.
I'm 100% right there with you. I'm telling you right now, it will sell. And we're coming up to December, so we can do some photo shoots here quick before. That's what needs to happen.
That will be hilarious. I will love that.
But up in New York, I think even you go up there, Benji, for salmon fishing.
Well, don't be up here buying ammo now. You can't do that.
No, that's insane now. That I wouldn't do that. No.
Everybody's getting denied. Everybody's getting denied.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Gosh, there's at least a 9-day waiting period so far.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
They don't actually know that that's the real thing because it started on the 13th and we're only at what, the 18th? Who the hell knows whether it's going to be 9 days or 900 days?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Nobody
true.
knows.
Yeah, the government got power and doesn't want to give it up, or they abuse it.
The
I'm
state
really
got
surprised they
power
do
and
that.
they're using it.
Hey,
Yeah.
Chris, while you're pulling your picture up, I have to say this. So
And
I
my pants.
traded. So I went into the gun shop to finish my payment on my 17, and I ended up letting the 17 there, and I brought home a 22-250.
Oh, dude, way better choice. Way better choice.
I almost cried, but I really wanted the 17, but I ended up.
What were you going to do with the 17? Shoot
I
squirrels?
wanted it to hunt fox, and then I thought, well, if I'm going to hunt fox and put my night vision and stuff on it, I know I'm going to be hunting coyotes.
22-250.
Yeah, but it's a way better setup, a way better route. So I did end up doing that.
That was the smartest decision you could have made on that.
Yep, I did. I didn't want to, though. I really wanted a 17 for about the last, well, since the moment they came out, and I never bought one.
They're a cool squirrel gun. That was about all the only use I ever found for it.
But I figured groundhogs and squirrels. But sorry, Chris.
Yeah.
I just figured I knew
No,
you were
it's
looking for pictures.
It's fine. Yeah, we're all set up. So you guys do the salmon fishing, and have you ever come across this? Now, usually zombie fish is what I call cat, but
yeah, that's messed up.
this, if you saw something like this on the end of your line, would you keep it?
I have.
Really?
So my answer to that is it depends. It depends on the reality of it. If the skin color is just that and the livelihood is still there, yes, I keep them. If in most cases you don't even get those fish. Those fish are half dead. Most time those fish are half dead, and the bears are going to eat them at some point in life because they're useless. But there is instances where that fish is still booming pretty strong and alive, and you'll end up getting it. So
explain what's going on here.
Well, this
zombie
is
fish.
what they call zombie fish. And it's funny if you read Chris's Chris, read your title up there because my eyes are terrible.
Oh, what were we called it? Zombie trout?
Yeah, well, we called it zombie. So this says the spawning dead.
Yeah, the spawning dead. Why zombie fish are the anti-apocalypse.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was looking for. So when Chris brought up zombie trout, which I did send Chris a picture of it. Actually, there it is. That's a salmon there. Of zombie fish. I knew right what he was talking about, but I've never seen a zombie trout, so that intrigued me. But I did send Chris this link about zombie salmon. Now, this zombie salmon, the reason they're called that is when they come up to lay eggs and spawn, they start to diminish. There's no other way to say it. They're dying. So they come up here, lay their eggs. When you catch steelhead and you catch brown trout and those other fish, you're hitting hard on your actual hitting your stuff. They're eating the eggs coming from these salmon. So these female eggs come up to die, allowing them to look as the picture. I don't know if there's a way to blow that up, but as of that picture, and so they end up. I mean, there's fish you'll see their mouth that look like that. Their mouth is still going, but they're laying on the side of the bank. They just keep diminishing, but they will keep swimming until they are fully dead.
Mm-hmm. They said the flesh is decomposing, falling off their bodies. They're basically living zombies. They're alive. They're still going, but they're just. Again, could you eat something like that?
As long as it's in that cold water, Chris, the answer is yes.
Really, I would not in a minute. I mean, I hate fish to begin with, but
I wouldn't eat something. I wouldn't eat something that would look like this. This is too much for me.
I've seen your girlfriends. Yes, you would.
Oh, Chris.
I don't know if I necessarily would even. I probably would just, I'm not gonna lie, kill that thing off and kind of save the suffering and turn it into fertilizer like they do with the carp when they bowfish.
I mean, now just look at these fish going upstream. They're still
Yeah,
alive.
they're just smoked though. I mean,
Yeah.
But they're beat. I mean, they have exhausted their everything.
Well, they
their
don't.
eggs are laid. Look at her fin in the back here in this video. Look.
So, like a lot of people think with salmon that they're feeding the whole way up through. They're not. They're not. They only have one thing on their mind, and that's to go spawn.
Yep, that's
So-
lay them eggs.
So literally, when people, this is why I kind of am like a little weird about the whole treble hooking controversy. I don't see why you can't do it, because number one, they're going to go die anyways, most of them, and number two, these things are not biting your hooks for a strike because they're hungry. You know what I mean? Like a bass was, going to eat a worm. They're not biting because they're going to eat it. If you look at them, they're just running that mouth gob the whole time. And it's more of a luck thing than anything. I mean, some of them right in the beginning on the run might go ahead and hit stuff, but most of the time it's just because they're pissed off. They want stuff out of the way. No matter how you cut it, it's not really because they're hungry. So
Yeah, they don't look good.
no.
But
So, Chris, you've never salmon fished.
no, it's not. I have no interest in it.
I will tell you, if you hook one that isn't look like this, you'll never forget it. When you got a 45-pound king running the river and half its back sticking out, it'll change your life. Let me tell you, that's fun.
But
I agree. These are half dead. Again, I have kept them where they're like that one there. You see that one in the back that's swimming so hard?
yeah.
That meat's still good. As long as that fish is still putting that much energy in, that meat's still good.
I mean, they're just so skinny at this point.
But I don't know if it's worth. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Is it even worth it?
Well, I would be finding another part of the creek where they're not all dead. I'd be walking
no
down
doubt.
creek farther is what I'd be doing. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
But to answer your question, yes. Chris, do you know a picture of that trout I sent you?
That I was just going to get into that.
Yeah. So we're talking about zombie fish, and this was amazing to me. This is what Chris sent me
Because
so
this
was cool.
It's not just salmon that are doing this, and I figured Skip would be into this because these people are overfishing, over fly fishing, because fly fishing has become so popular. I think they said it doubled or tripled the number of fish they're taking out of the stream, and the ones left are looking like this.
Ooh.
Yeah, it won't let me zoom in on the picture.
So here, read that, Chris. Read that at the top. Your eyes are better than me, but read that. There you go.
Yeah, what Montana is facing an emergency as zombie trout have begun appearing in rivers across the state. Again, they're getting blinded. They have this fungus all over them. It looks like a Pine Grove hooker, to be honest with you.
Oh my God, Chris.
Just saying.
I can't even deal with you.
But it seems like as the fish population diminishes, that these diseases and things run rampant. And it's just where he says he has a video of him netting one of them, but I'd imagine that's this picture here where the one eye's missing and it has all these growths on it.
And that now, Chris, that there, God, I don't want to say where it was, and I'm wrong. Where was that out of? What river?
Big Hole.
Big, yeah, there it is.
Big Hole, Montana.
Yeah, Big Hole
Which
was.
again
Montana.
was. Never mind.
Huh.
They so that there has.
When was this article?
This one was September 12th, 2023.
Yeah, I was reading up in this article, and I thought this was absolutely amazing and sad at the same time. I thought it was amazing because I've never heard of it, and I thought it was so sad because look at that beautiful brown trout, and all because they're taking so many fish out that they're doing this. It's terrible.
Is there actually any evidence on that?
Well, it says that there were 71,000 trout taken out of these creeks and rivers in 2011. Now, recently, it's gone up into the 125, 130,000, and they're saying that that's why this is happening.
To me, that doesn't make any sense.
we're not getting the high flows that flush the sediment out of the river. It doesn't maintain a healthy fish habitat.
Yeah, I said Bobby. I know who you are. Busted, dude. We
Well,
figured it out.
I'm almost wondering if it doesn't have something to do with the wildfires. Scorched earth and stuff.
You mean like boiling the water?
Well, not only heating water, but just the actual ash polluting this stuff. And they're saying they're not having what they need to wash it away, but it could happen with if nobody took any fish out of there this year. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I agree to that. Now, if you do read up in the article, they do say climate change had a lot to do with it.
Absolutely.
They said climate change has a whole lot to do with it. I would think so. On top of Brandon's, I would think that taking fish out would make it more beneficial.
Yes.
It allows. So if you have fish in an aquarium, anybody has an aquarium. If you have 12 fish in an aquarium, those fish only get so big.
Yep.
If you take half of those fish out, the 6 fish you have got twice double the size. So I would think that would be beneficial in the sense of the fish would grow bigger and things would happen. But now when you read through the article and you see climate change and those things, that actually makes sense. Or as Goodwill Hunter would call it, fish COVID 2023.
Yeah, it makes more sense than, the numbers of fish being taken out doubled, so now all of a sudden these other fish have fungus and crap. Like that to me doesn't make sense, because and then they want to say, well, okay, they don't have the high flows of the water. Would it make a difference whether there was 100,000 fish back in there or not? Like there's not a valid argument on the fact that taking more fish out is what's called has any sort of direct effect on this at all, in my opinion.
So is anything we say again our last segment, if somebody watches this that actually partakes, let me reuse my other hand.
Yeah.
Partakes in any of this or lives off this river or is someone who fishes it or has a guide service into it, I would love to hear more about this.
Yeah, and I'd like to read up on that article a little bit more. And I'm coming at it from a standpoint that I haven't read that article.
You sent the stuff at the beginning of the week.
Yeah, I've been busy, man. So I mean, I'll look into it during the week while I'm sitting in the goose blind or whatever. But it just what? What are you smiling about? I got all sorts of stuff going on up here.
I'm saying, I think you called the geese before I got there, and you're like, dude, he'll be here like 3 days. Bounce out, come back, hit me up on
No, just the migration's starting to make a push. It's late this year because I think a lot of it has to do with the Canadian wildfires, to be honest. I think the geese held high for a long time, and now that things have cleared up, they're really starting to push down. So I think that's what's going on. That, and it's been so wet and rainy and yet so hot all the way up through. I don't even think Canada is getting as cold as it usually does by now. So, but anyways, back to the fact that I don't know if there's an actual direct correlation there with the number of fish being taken.
I think the biggest thing was climate. Well, one thing I read in there I really thought made sense was climate change. That was the one thing I really seen in there that I'm sure your winters, summers, and here's another one, Brandon. So now you kind of think like I do. Half of me thinks like Chris, and the other half thinks like you. It's scary. But the amount of people is possible. Maybe not the fish taken out, but imagine how many germs people carry, right? Now we had COVID and we had all those things.
A lot more people out on the water.
Right? I would think that maybe that has something to do with it. Not only that, you don't know what people are throwing in the water, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't care what river it is. People suck.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
When it comes to taking care of land and doing things.
Guys sitting out there smoking cigarette butts and in the water. And
it's very possible that, you know what I mean, that may have something to partake. Again, I would love to hear from someone who watches this segment.
I mean, I also, going further with that, I also think the decline that we call in the turkey population that everybody screams about every year for the last 2 years, I think that has a direct correlation with COVID, and because the number of hunting license sales is up 73% in New York State. So this whole decline in turkey population, well, nobody's really run the numbers on how many birds were actually taken yet, I don't think, versus license sales versus, since 2021 to now.
Right.
I think it's probably the same with everything right across the board. I mean, there's a lot more people. I mean, kayak sales quadrupled in 2021 in New York State. Just the sale of kayaks for people to go out, whether it be recreational, fishing, hunting off of kayaks, things like that. Boat sales doubled. Outdoor recreational activities, hunting rifles doubled or tripled. I think there's a direct correlation with actually the COVID deal and people being home and wanting to get out, and maybe this was the first time in their life going, oh well, my dad did this and I thought about doing it for years and never had the time, and now all of a sudden we have the time. So I do think you're right. I think there's a lot of people that got out there and got in those streams and things like that, and they did haul more fish out of that area. Obviously, we know the numbers on that. What they put in the water while they were there, what climate control did, or climate change did to hurt or help or whatever. And then, I mean, I'm also a firm believer in that, the strong survive out there. So, these fish with the funguses that can't fight them off and things like that are probably going to die, and, you're not going to eat them. And who knows, though, it could spiral into a whole nother deal if, raccoon finds a dead thing, and next thing you know, raccoon's got a new disease we don't know about. So,
zombie coons.
Yeah, next thing you know, you got freaking zombie raccoons running around.
Chris, I'm trying to watch your little picture, what you're scrolling there. See, I always know you're working on something. So,
well, we are going to go on to the next thing.
All right.
Our last thing ties into last week's, because we found even more bear attacks.
Oh, you mean idiots with bears?
Well, yeah, they're going pretty close to these bears when they're hiking, and they had to be life-flighted. Now there was another gentleman, a Navy SEAL, who had an attack happen. Took the lower half of took the jaw off.
Oh yeah,
it's gone.
Now I'm not. So I want before we go any deeper, I want to know that when you hike in the woods or you go in these places, knowing there's grizzlies and these things are there. You have to be like a mountain lion attack. You have to know it's a possibility. You have to.
Well, that's what I was going to get into next. What do you do to prepare, or if you're faced with it, what do you do? What can you do?
I always have a pistol, so I'm gonna shoot it.
With what?
What do you mean with what?
Yeah. What are you carrying?
It depends what I have on that day.
Well,
sometimes I have 410 shotgun shells in it. Some days I have 45 Colts. Some days I just carry a 380. I don't know, but I'm going to fire as many as I got to get it off me.
I think it depends on where you are.
And the kind of bear, of course.
If you're in grizzly country, I mean, you want to be running at least a 357 or bigger.
It'll laugh at a 9mm or
it'll absolutely. I mean, it might stop them for a half a second, just long enough for them to scratch their head and come after you again. I would say you want to be running something heavy in that.
Chris, in that link you posted that you sent me, there was a video of a guy getting out. Those 3 guys getting out and running after a mom and 2 cubs.
Yeah, that was the dumbest thing ever. The forest ranger ended up coming in.
Yes, I have a judge. Yeah, you have a judge. Yep, I have a judge.
Yeah,
and it's the judge too.
Yeah, and the executioner.
I mean, if it was me, I'd be running.
Video is anymore.
What's that, bud?
That video he's talking.
Oh yeah, if it was me in grizzly country, at least a 45 ACP. That's probably what I would be running, or a 45 Ruger Vaquero, something like that.
Well, what about bear mace?
I would not even worry about that whatsoever at all.
Here's
Why?
mine to that. If you're against guns and you're against all those things, yes.
Carry bear mace.
Yes, then
Yeah.
take something. So, yes,
Yeah.
Chris, I would say if you're against what we're talking about, not everybody's a gun lover, right, in this day and age. Yes, carry something. I mean, you got to carry something. If you're in the woods, you know it's going to happen. How many times have you seen a mountain lion attack or bear attack all over the news, right? You know it's going to happen. These people, so the video Chris shared, and we can't find it with me, was it was 3 tourists, one holding a child, okay, a baby, running after a mom and 2 cubs, right? At what point does somebody say, this is stupid?
Well, the game wardens did. They did end up showing up in there, but like obviously,
I agree. But what if they didn't, Brandon? You know, that's the issue.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
Like, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put the bear down and we're going to blame the bear, right? Well, the bear attacked us. The bear did this. It is not the bear's fault. The bear is a wild creature.
Yeah. Remember how I said only the strong should survive? That means
I get it.
that means the human race too, in my opinion.
Yeah, I get it. Trust me.
You know, that whole video, you know what the whole deal with that was they were just blocking traffic for a little while.
I got it.
And people were getting fed up with the Cubs playing in the road, and that lady jumped out and then was going to take pictures and all this, and then the other guys come running. But yeah, that was dumb. I don't know where people think
there it is, Chris.
idea.
I love the title. So before you play this, Chris, the title's my favorite. Watch, idiot Yellowstone tourist charge at mama bear and her cubs while holding a small child. That's my favorite title.
Again, I try to get things that are recent. I know sometimes I went back into the 2021 kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah, I love Buffalo. Them suckers don't play, man.
But, I mean, even in that picture, Chris, you see the buffalo, right?
Yep.
What did the guy do to provoke the buffalo?
You don't have to provoke buffalo. They just do their
now
thing.
watch these people. Look, right here. 1, 2.
They're running at it.
3 and a child.
They're probably from the city, have no idea what's going on.
Now here comes this young girl. She's like, oh, I'm going to film this. These guys are going to get eaten. I mean, honestly, I probably would have done what she did. But
oh, yeah.
But I mean, where is their brain? I go back to last week, right? Chin, pink, waving. I don't know what that means. No bears in India. Yeah. You're probably right. But I'm sure in India they got some pretty worse stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to deal with the snakes and crap that are.
I would say in India they got some stuff worse than a bear. But no, I agree. Like, where is the common sense in this world?
There just isn't.
Again, this just happened as well. Here, this guy shot this apparently trophy for him, and this grizzly bear decided, I'm taking that from you. And he and his friend then ended up getting in their truck and driving at the bear. Now, I've seen bear take down moose, and moose can destroy your car. So, I mean, I don't know really how they thought that was going to end. If you get squeamish, look away. But that's what the bear did to it.
Was this a bow kill, I wonder?
I'm not sure what it was, but he killed. All I know is he killed this thing, and then the bear decided it wanted it and started tearing it apart. And then he drove in with his friend and got Altoids. No, he drove in with his friend and scared it off with the car. Loaded it up while the bear was walking at it. They said they left their bear spray at home. All they had was a 9mm. He didn't want to carry his 45.
Are you suggesting if they're in Yellowstone or somewhere they carry their car?
Be smart is what I'm suggesting.
Okay. I'm just making sure. If you're suggesting a car is a weapon, I'm with you. But I think in Yellowstone, some of those places aren't allowed.
I mean, I think if from a hunting standpoint, say you were going to go hunting in bear country, first thing you'd want to do is carry something. If you're going squirrel hunting in northern Montana, you might want to carry your 45 in your back. Not just the 22. And then on top of that, I think it would be very beneficial to anybody who's doing this to carry a fixed blade knife on them that has easy access, because there might not be time for you to get a folder opened up. And if you need to get into combat with said bear or a mountain lion where he's on top of you and you need a knife, the last thing you want to do is be fiddling around trying to open up a folding knife.
I would agree with that. Carry a knife on your side.
Yeah. Just something you can reach and boom, you got a fixed blade right there.
Yep.
And it's good you brought that up, because one of the recommendations for bear attacks like this, of course, is always they want to say bear mace, bear spray. And if that's exhausted and this bear is in your face, if it's brown, go to the ground. They say let yourself get batted around a bit. But if it's a black bear, fight it off. Yeah. Stab it, hit it with a stick, do whatever you got to do, shoot it. But yeah, like we were saying, if it's a 9mm against a grizzly, they're going to laugh at you.
I'm not going to lie to you. I've never been attacked, and I could give a million advice. I would never want to give the wrong advice.
Yeah.
But I would say, number one, take out its eyes.
How?
Yeah. Listen, Chris, if I'm getting eaten alive, I'm dying, right?
I mean, I think
I'm going to gouge any freaking thing I can gouge in my last seconds, right? Now, I'm not being smart, but if you can't see, I stand a chance.
They smell so well. If it was me, I think I'm going for the neck. Like, I'm going for neck. I'm cutting. There's no bone in that lower area of a neck. You know what I mean? Even on a deer. So you can cut open a trach and a jugular pretty quick if you got a decent knife on you.
Because that's what they say in a shark bite as well. They say if you get in a fight with a shark, to stab its eyes.
Here's I don't know if you believe in fate, but it's a good thing you brought that up, because idiots don't just go to land.
Oh, yeah, they go to water too.
Oh, Chris has another one.
Here they're trying to put a shark back in the water. And this isn't the first time I've seen this kind of video.
All right, first they're good eating. Why would you want to put them back in the water?
Babe, look at them freaking teeth.
So yeah, I mean,
oh my. Babe, it's too dangerous. Don't be doing that.
Well, at least somebody's got some common sense.
Look at them.
Dude, shark steaks. That's all I would be thinking about. I couldn't even think about putting it back in the water.
I'm just saying, you don't have them just on land, just with bears and things. You got them all over.
I mean, the size of that shark, to even think about trying to get... What happens when that shark hits that deep water they're standing in? It spins around.
We're about to find out.
Babe, let him...
Yeah, let him...
I think it's dead.
No.
No, it's not dead.
Dude, all they're doing is putting oxygen in that thing and make it freaking go crazy.
Yeah. All it would have to do is quick snap back and take your leg off. And you'd blame the shark for it. Yeah.
That's some falsely celebrated crap right there.
They don't know how lucky they got, kind of a thing.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I think that common sense
is gone.
If you could ever open a school that taught common sense, you're going to be a zillionaire.
Now, didn't one of us here just go into rattlesnake dens?
I mean, technically, it didn't happen.
Yes, but I was with trained professionals.
True. They
I
had
wouldn't,
big.
have went,
trained
without trained professionals, so I want to point that out. If I was going looking myself, you ain't finding me there.
Where is the licensing school for Let's Climb in a Rattlesnake then?
Well, they had a lot of years experience.
Okay, that sounds better.
So I trusted these guys when I went in here. I spent a lot of conversations with them, and they promised me they would do everything in their power to keep us safe. So I trusted that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys
Let me add,
trusted their buddies.
Let me add that if you think I still didn't want to poop my pants at first few,
yeah,
all right, you're completely wrong. I want to point that out right now. But I will tell you, once you see it, and once you are, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
It definitely looked cool. I would have totally been there if I was in the area.
It definitely was. It was definitely amazing.
I would have been there.
I want to do a shark cage. So I mean, I'm just as stupid as the rest of them.
I'd like to check that out myself. I have some GoPros, Chris.
Yeah, I would love to go in with a great white shark cage.
Did you guys see the video of the kid who's I think it was shrimping. They had shrimp cages out, right? Or crab cages. It might have been crab cages.
Chris had those in high school.
Down in North Carolina. Anyways, they're pulling one in and whatever, and the crab cage pops off the line. Those crab cages are they're pretty expensive. So the kid jumps into the water. And I say he's a kid, he's probably in his mid-20s, late 20s. Jumps into the water, gets the cage, gets it hooked back onto the line. And as he's climbing out of the boat and the cage is hitting at the same time, a white comes up and just smashes straight into the boat. Literally, I'm talking if he was over a half a foot, that thing would have just pile drived him into the boat and just killed him. But it hits the boat so hard, it's disoriented and swims off. And the kid climbs on, and there were some choice words in there, but it was pretty intense. I was just like, holy crap. Well, excuse me.
I have a kind of a suggestion here, since we're growing and changing some things with the show. So I'm going to throw this out there. Chris, do you have anything else that you wanted to share?
No, that's where I was. That was it.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. So I'm going to throw this out there to you two and live while we have some viewers. So I think it would be really cool if we found a way to add a little more humor. Now, Chris is always on his humor horse. I got to give him credit. That guy, he's always cracking something. I love it. But add a little more humor to what we do. So I think, and the reason I want to do it live is to see other people's opinions and their thoughts, what they would think about kind of adding. So basically what we're doing is we're taking people's videos, news, feed, throwing it out here, giving our input and our opinions on it. But I think it would be really funny and cool if we kind of broke it down into a news segment, broke it in, each one of us bring our own story to this each Monday. We kind of bring our own story. Here's what I see. And we send it to Chris, and then we break it apart that way.
You want me to just call my dad and he can tell you about the knife in his ass cheek story?
I think that story pretty well was funny. I don't know if we can beat that story, to be honest with you, Brandon. I think, Chris, what do you think?
I think I was still laughing about it months later, and I'm kind of bummed I didn't get to meet him and ask him.
Oh, didn't you meet him? I thought you met him up there.
Nah, I didn't get to meet my old man. My dad was supposed to hunt with us, and then just totally bailed out. So,
Chris, I thought you got to meet Knife Butt.
the old shanking the shank.
Oh, dude, I'm so bummed. I truly thought you went hunting with him.
No.
Yeah. No. The old shanking the shitter.
Exactly.
Sorry.
No, you're not wrong, bud.
But I thought you had a chance to go hunting with her. I thought for sure. I remember Brandon saying his dad was going to be there and so was going to be there.
And then for whatever reason, there was some confusion with my father about which weekend we were hunting. And I'm like, Dad, I'm hunting every weekend. And he's like, yeah, but I'm not. And I was like, yeah, no, I understand that. And then it just was like this whole big thing of him not taking off work or whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. You don't work Friday or Saturday, Sunday anymore, anyways. But I wasn't going to argue with him. So he had other stuff. My mother just had her knees replaced and everything. So they were getting ready for that too. And there a lot of stuff going on.
I got it. Sounds like your dad's a lucky man.
Well, he didn't have to hunt with me that weekend. We got skunked anyways.
Oh, I meant because your mom's got her knees replaced.
No, trust me, it's not for that. Now, see, if they're ripping the carpet up in the living room, that'd be a whole other.
Oof. Yeah, that would be a whole nother thing.
That'd be a whole different topic of conversation.
But Chris, you better not be doing this after all your comments. You better not even be doing
As
this.
a good Christian, I can't even handle. Maybe Satan. Mm-hmm.
We do not want to forget our Kiss and Fish contest ends.
Yes.
So we have
kissing and fishing.
Yep, we have Alyssa Ray Pasek. Her Kiss and Fish package is sitting here on my desk, right by my microphone, right here. And
Ben's kissed it twice, maybe
so
3 times.
we are going to want to get that ready to go. So Chris, can you pull up real quick? I know we're at a 46-minute, our Facebook page and see who's in the lead right now. So there's a list. She just won.
Wanted to bring hers up.
Yep. She just won her first big fishing contest. So she is pumped, her big fishing tournament.
Cool.
And she will be a special guest at some point on our show here.
Hey, you guys ended up putting old Shelbers up as the...
Yeah, we did. Of course we did. Why didn't we?
Nice. Is that your dog there, Ben?
Yep. Yep. While Chris is looking for this, right? So you see all them chuckers lined up across the tailgate?
Yeah.
We put them out. The grass was super wet. I mean, super wet. My dog caught everyone alive and brought them back. We didn't fire a shot.
Oh, my God.
She'd slow down and she'd make her loop, and I'd say, get ready. And all of a sudden, you'd see the dog
crunch.
grab it and bring it back, and I'd be like, come on.
Oh, man. You guys need to get pigeons next time.
Oh, I was so bummed.
That's funny. You guys ended up... Is there a place down there you can buy them from?
Yeah, my cousin raises them.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So this is our contest here. Yep. And then Chris can look in there and see who's winning our contest.
Nice.
Again, the wins are noted by the likes, yeah?
Yep.
So far, it's a tie. Still going
there
tie.
Was one. Yeah, it might be, Chris. The last time I checked, there was a 5.
This one's at 5.
Yep.
And threes, ones, twos. There's a 4, so this one could still come in. There's a 9.
Okay, there's one. So 9's in the lead right now.
Yep. Whose was that? Kayla Hart's.
Okay, so that's leading right now.
Yep. So far until that's the one.
All right, so there's your lead photo right now. That is not the winning photo right now. That is the lead photo right now. So
there
you guys that are getting on here and doing your voting and interested in her package is honestly,
Lord,
it's I know it sounds terrible. It is really nice. If Chris, can you go back to her? Sorry. Can you go back to her contest and click on them photos? Yeah, that's fine. Either one. They're the same. So you got a 20 count rattles in here. Everything in the package is pink. You have your fish grippers, which work well. You have your rig. So she gave 3 different size rigs in that. I actually have it on the bag here. It is a 6, 8, and 9. And she gave a crap ton of circle hooks. And there was something else in there. Rigs, pliers, circle hooks.
Grips, circle hooks, pink rattles, and the rigs. Those are the 4 things.
And the rattles. Yep. Cool. So maybe what we'll do, Chris, we'll talk about it. You, me, Brandon, and the other boys. Maybe we'll throw to our second place winner something from LT Outdoors. LT Outdoors is giving some stuff. So
there you go.
I think that'd be pretty cool to send out to the second place winner.
What was this?
CWD.
CWD, yep.
So was it found in the area?
I don't even know where it came from.
Sorry, guys. I'm going to eat my dessert here.
Swopes Valley.
Oh, who posted that?
Big Sexy Outdoors.
So it was one of our boys.
Yeah, Josh Anspach then posted this after it.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I'm not saying nothing because I was in this blind right about in this area.
No, you were to the left. I was sitting on the far end today.
Oh, were you? That was the secret then, huh?
Yeah, sure.
I think the secret, Chris, was you weren't there. It sounds like since you weren't there, he's killed one every time. I'm just saying.
I'm a jinx. That's all there is to it.
I don't know about every time.
All right, Brandon, check that picture out.
Nice.
So we released 23. The dog brought back 15.
I mean, that's pretty good odds. I'd bet those odds.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you that the dog did phenomenal. These guys that I hunted with were absolutely impressed. She was, I mean, you knew when she hit a bird scent in that wind, she would just stop dead in her tracks and her tail would go 100 miles an hour and make a loop. And when she'd start making that loop, I said, you guys better be ready.
Awesome.
But I seen yours is doing real well as well.
Old Shelvers is doing great. I don't know. I don't think I posted the one video of like the 50, 55 yard retrieve and 40 foot of water.
I saw a couple of water ones. How quick did Rob freak out over a band?
Oh God. We're having a little bit of drama right now. The whole crew. So I've been off the group chat and haven't really talked to them all week.
We've experienced some of that drama in the last few weeks.
Yeah, and part of that had to do with where I shot that band and some trespassing issues with the boys in the crew and some not getting permission and then getting permission inviting lots of people onto said hunting land. They don't quite understand the politics yet of hunting private land because they've been public land hunters their whole life. So, you don't just get to invite everybody and their brother and do things and whatever you want on somebody's land. So they screwed up a good hunting spot for themselves, but I'm still allowed to hunt it. So whatever. But yes, he was livid about that band.
All day, I bet. All day.
Oh, he's still mad. He's still pissed. He's gonna if he never shoots a goose band, he'll take that shit to his grave.
I know. I could tell. But here in this video here, I wanted to ask about something. If you don't mind me asking, because I was just curious.
All right.
A lot of times when we're doing the dog training with like chuckers or similar, like he was saying with pigeons, you tie them, right? You tie them down and give them enough string so the dog can flush them up.
Yep, I do that a lot.
Okay. This one looked to me like somebody took a dead one and threw it in the air just so the dog could hear the shot.
Yeah.
So
I'm
going to say this again. So listen, there was 15 birds. Listen,
I'm not judging. I'm just curious.
I know. Here's my comment to that. There was 15 birds. The dog brought back 15 birds without a shot. All right, that's my comment to that.
So I was okay.
Okay,
I wasn't seeing things.
Yeah,
that's understandable.
So at that point, somebody had to shoot something, okay?
Well, yeah, you got to get the dog used to hearing the shot. But I was just like, am I seeing something? Am I crazy? I mean, yes, I am.
We
But
had two birds that flew up that would give us a shot. And both times the dog ripped them out of the air. Both times the dog, there was one bird came up and got away. One of the guys with wouldn't shoot, and I said to him, "Thank you, God, for not shooting, because he would have killed my dog."
Yeah.
And then there was another one, two other ones where the bird flew. And listen, when I tell you the bird was this far from the dog, the whole fly, so the dog snatched it out of the air. That's how. I mean, it was close. So now, what I can't figure out, and I know we're ending here, but something. If somebody watches this to the end and can give me some advice here, I'm all in. So I've hunted with chuckers before, and I've never had an issue, right? Chuckers are an invasive species. You can put them out and hunt them anytime here, okay? So is it because their wings were wet that they didn't want to fly right, or what?
Were they young?
No. I had 12 of them were a breeding pair.
Interesting.
Well, my thing was
another 12 was bought. No, wait, another 12 was bought from Zergich Game Farms. Zergich out of Tamaqua or somewhere. So it's not like, both places the same thing happened. It wasn't like it was just one place.
Wild.
And when we released the ones from the game farm, I will tell you that they flew out of our hands.
Interesting.
They were flying out of the box. We couldn't even get them out. We tried to reach in, and they'd be like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh."
Well, that's what I was going to get at. Was when I used to do down at the fishing game with Pap, we used to have to train the birds because otherwise they would just sit there because they were so used to people being in the cages. And I'm wondering if that's what happened there. Like they didn't train them to be skittish when you open that box.
So I'm going to put it to you like this. If we do it again, and that's what I told the guys, we are going to trap shoot them, and then we'll take the dog around to get what's left. I think that's the only way I know how to do it, that we get them to fly and still get the action we're after. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm training my dog for waterfowl, so I can't even give you any insight on that because I'm not I'm not looking for her to go find birds on the ground and spook them up. I'm looking for her to retrieve after the shooting's done.
Well, my dog does both. If you watch a video, she'll go get him after the shot as well. She's there. She don't. Now mine, look, she don't want to give them back. I don't know why. It's first year she ever did it. She does not want to give them back.
That's funny.
You can hear me talking to her. Give it to Dad right now. Give it to Dad. But
do you eat them then?
Yeah. Yep. Wrap them in bacon, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, as far as the training end of it, I don't know anything about training a dog for upland. As far as like putting them on strings and letting them fly out and things like that, like what I did is I shot some pigeons in the beginning, and then I would go and play basically fetch. You know what I mean? Controlled fetch with my dog in the grass, and then out eventually into the water, and then kind of build up from there. And then excuse me, then I brought her to the farm that we were actually hunting pigeons at, and I would shoot one, and I'd walk up to it and have her fetch it up, kind of not a force fetch, but I would teach her to fetch, out of my hand, even like her face is, here, hand here, fetch, and I want her to grab it, and that's what that really means, is grab a hold of this and hold on to it.
See, Chris has hunted with mine. Mine is pretty. Let's just say she knows who's in charge. And if I tell her to find, her nose will go straight to the ground, and she will go in search mode. Complete. See this guy here, this TJ Royal holding this buck?
Yeah.
He went with for chuckers. He helped pitch in to get some.
Nice.
And I met him through the BSO, and He said to me, "I never seen nothing like your dog." He's like, "Your dog is incredible." And honestly, she's not the best dog out there, but she did a phenomenal job.
Good.
She loves to hunt. I mean, she just likes, my dog likes getting outside. She don't care about much else.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Bandy in a
That I
while.
understand.
I try to get her out once a week for a hunt, just so she stays outside and active, you know. Brandon, I don't have any goose. I used to have so many goose spots around here. I wouldn't even care about doves or any of those things. Chris and I used to shoot geese. Oh my God.
Mhm.
I don't have anything around here anymore. So I want nothing more than to get my dog on the water because I know she's going to do phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well, everything was turned to conservation, and I've sent videos and pictures of the maybe 100 or so geese out at the canal, but you can't really blast them off the canal because you're right there in the middle of town.
Well, I mean, who owns
I mean,
the
you
canal?
can. It's got to be
The
fast.
burrow.
Yeah,
Who does?
The burrow.
the burrow, but it's near houses. It's within the limit for being near houses.
So I actually look into that because I actually found out, was it yesterday morning? No, Saturday morning, that here in New York State, it said if you are hunting over water, you could be within the 500 feet of said house as long as your shooting direction was not within 500 feet.
You could. There's main roads that surround this whole thing, houses around the whole thing.
Oh yeah, all right.
You could there's no way you could hunt. So years ago I heard rumor that there was not there, but there was some place here close by that was overpopulated with geese, and they allowed them to go in and shoot them with I think it was bow and arrow or
Huh.
I would.
yeah, there was now I don't remember where it was and I don't remember the whole thing anymore, but I remember years ago there was this big thing on it. And that would have been pretty cool. You know,
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool. Let's say. But again, that close to house is one arrow and you miss could be horrible.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna again. Forgive me. Tell me to shut up, and that's fine. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. I'm not gonna listen, but you still won't hurt my feelings. This would be here's Pine Grove. There's the canal. Like here's the Pine Grove pool. That's where my kids go to the pool. They always fish at this end, but I swear to you, all along here, there's the tank is full of geese. Full.
Yeah, but is this, Chris, is that whole edge along the road, is that all houses along there?
Up here?
No, other side.
No.
No, but it's a public main highway.
So?
What do you mean so? You're going to shoot somebody if you fire a shot in the air. The
if
BBs
you
are going to
shoot
rain
towards the
down on
end.
somebody's freaking house.
How wide is that canal?
Not wide.
No, it's not really.
I can shoot from one end to the other or the shotgun.
Easy.
It looks pretty wide from the map view. So
The key to that is finding a cornfield somewhere close to that.
Oh yeah, cornfield, hayfield.
Like
that
right
field,
here?
That field right there.
Yeah, this would be perfect, but we'd have to find out who owns it.
Well, that's all posted by I forget what his name is there anymore. Oh, you know what? He might have died. The guy I'm thinking of.
Hold on, go back. Back the other way.
You left or right, son?
Go from left to right. There you go. I thought I saw a body of water over there somewhere too. Maybe.
Oh, you may well have. Yeah. Yeah, if we could get back in here and set up, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Crop circle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But anyway, sorry, I got off on a tangent because I wanted to show them the canal.
Yeah, I agree that would be a good spot.
Yeah, if you could figure out who the landowner is and go
On
in there.
excellent.
I want to say we used to be a novel that on the top of that. Don't quote me, but that's where I think it is.
I
have maps, Onyx maps. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I would love to get up there goose hunting. Just get my. But again, it'll be over land and not water. So I already know my dog will retrieve there. I want to get her on water.
Yeah. Well, shoot one and throw it in the pond, in the canal.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, there's got to be other water sources around there that
Well,
are
we have a
usable.
huge lake that is always covered with geese, too.
Well,
But-
the church's dam. That might. Wesleyan Church.
They don't
Wesleyan Church. You walk back the little road and then there's
Oh, that's the creek. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
not a dam. They call that the arch.
yeah.
My
Onyx
uncle,
is failing.
my uncle Bobby owns a field aside of that, just so you know. And my dad's best friend Nick owns across the street of that.
Okay.
So if the geese are there, we can hunt there. But I didn't see any geese in there lately. I haven't been out there lately, but I haven't seen any.
Just got to make the phone calls.
Yep. And speaking of calls, we're gonna call this, I guess.
Yeah, I got to
we
get
are an
rolling.
hour.
I got to get rolling anyways. I got.
We're actually
2
like an
minutes
hour
to-
30 because we never started.
Well,
Right.
no, we started. It was just
So,
No, I meant that it never started live.
yeah.
all right, guys.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.